I'm really on to all these fans out here that talking about like Carson Hocevar is the second coming of Dale Earnhardt Sr. First off, like the man ain't even won a race yet, right? Not even won a race yet, and you guys are doing this because of what? Attitude? Nah, dude. And let me tell you something. Dale Earnhardt Sr. went about it more like Kyle Busch. What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. Got a pretty good little show to go over, man. Atlanta was a great weekend, as always. Still trying to get my voice back. Couple day hangover there. You guys know how it goes, man. But big shout out to everybody that was there this year. Made some new friends, Alex and Nolan, some guys from Illinois, some buddies from Illinois. They were with other buddies from Illinois, but good to see everybody. Robert, Matt, Kim and Lawrence, Jason, Logan, Joey, Case, man, mine, everybody. It was just a great time. Bubba, come on, man. Big E, it was just a good time. Don and Dave Porter, it was a great time. You guys are missing out if you hadn't made a trip over to Turn 2 during a NASCAR race at Atlanta yet for sure. But we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to get it started with the word of the day, y'all. If you're new to tuning into the show, the way we play this is every time I say a word, I have no idea what it's going to be. Take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. As I always love to say, it's age appropriate as well. If you're under 21, get some Kool-Aid, sweet tea, Red Bull. Stay up late, man. Play along. So last week's word, what was last week's word, Lawrence? I think it was probably Atlanta, more than likely. What last week's word was something along those lines. So this week's word is going to be, I have no idea, y'all, but play along. So getting into the NASCAR news, man, come on, back-to-back, 2 times in a row. Tyler Reddick, boy, I tell you what, he is like a little redheaded stepchild, man. That man there just can't do nothing but find victory lane this year so far. 2 for 2, and I tell you what, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Really enjoy seeing him get those wins there. And, we'll see what the season can hold, man. Starting out great. We'll see if he can make it into that playoff run there and run deep and maybe get himself a championship. We'll see what happens. But so far, so good for a 45 team. So Sheldon Creed, man, got that win in the O'Reilly Auto Parts, formerly known as the Xfinity Series. I tell you what, first win there for Sheldon. Awesome. I tell you what, awesome deal. I really like Sheldon Creed, man. He kind of got the shaft over there, a little bit different with his stuff with Austin Hill and different things. But I tell you what, man, I'm glad to see him go out and get that win for sure. So NASCAR released the craziest format for an all-star race I've ever seen in my whole life, y'all. It is way too much to explain. I'm not even going to run the 15 minutes it took me to even read it and really kind of figure out what was going on. But make sure you go check it out because we're going to talk about that just a little bit later in the show. And boy, oh boy, they're dropping the ball already in 2026. So if you guys haven't yet, go out, like, share, follow, all that social media out there, y'all. Lawrence does a great job running it. I have nothing to do with it. But Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be, follow Rubbin' and Grubbin'. And most importantly, man, go subscribe to the damn YouTube channel, y'all. We're still chalking checkered flag for charity this year, We're going to figure out what we're going to throw down for sure. But as you guys know, we donate card numbers in. We got that ready to roll as soon as we come up with a good person or a good charity here in town in Savannah, local area to donate into. So don't worry, it is coming. But again, make sure you check out that social media, y'all. So a Turn 6 change coming this weekend at COTA. I guess another passing zone, supposedly. Me and Lawrence are talking about this a little bit. Really doesn't matter to me because I don't like it either way. I could care less if we race there. I'm going to watch it, but I could care less if we race there. I think it's probably one of my top 3 least favorite races all year. But at the end of the day, we'll see what it does to the on-track product this weekend there at COTA. So Keelan Harvick made the move, man, signed the deal. Everybody knew it wasn't going to be long. This kid's got some talent just like his daddy. But my question is, how in the hell does Chevrolet let another young, talented kid just not get on the contract? Here he signed up with Toyota, which is great, TRD developmental program. He's going to make some moves, man. But I tell you what, Hendrick got to get on the ball. We got to get a young one. You better get Brexton whenever it comes time. Owen Larson, you better get something. All right, man. That'll do it for the NASCAR news. Again, we're getting ready to move in that checkered flag for charity, y'all. My favorite part of the show. Hadn't decided this year exactly where it's all going, but that's $90 on the year in there, man. So, at the end of the day, it's a pretty good way to start out with 45 car winning. As you guys know, we donate whatever car number wins, we donate in. And Tyler Reddick went back-to-back. So $90 in there so far on the year. Again, if you ever come up to coaches, want to donate into the Checkered Flag for charity, stop your waitress, your waiter, bartender, server, stop John and Adele. Tell them you want to throw in Checkered Flag for charity, and they'll definitely be more than glad to do it for you. So appreciate you guys. And again, none of this is possible without all the patrons here at Coaches and patrons of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. So glad we're still continuing to make it happen for sure. So getting ready to get into that who's hot and the who's not. But before we do, man, we're going to talk about Arbor Man Tree Service, the best tree service in Savannah. Doesn't matter what it is, full stump grinding, full tree removal, some limbs cut back, need an estimate. Make sure you're giving Parker Eccles and his team over there at Arbor Man a call. You'll see that number scrolling all night long on the screen. Hey, as I always like to say, no job too big, too small. Give Parker a call, man. So getting into the who's hot. I mean, as if there's any question, boy, Tyler, the Hamburglar Reddick, boy, the Hamburglar stole 2 of them. I'm telling you. What's the old Popeye thing? I'll gladly pay you for a cheeseburger on today on Tuesday. I don't know, something about buying hamburgers today and paying on Tuesday or something. I don't know, paying tomorrow. Anyways, pretty neat. Hamburglar's doing it though, man. I'm telling you what, 2 wins right there, back to back. Tyler Reddick, and again, I'm glad to see it. I don't know who else is. Had a great 2024 season, moved into 2025 with a lot of big expectations and high hopes. And obviously with everything he had going on in his personal life, fell a little flat. But I tell you what, I don't think there's a better way to come out than winning those 2 races back to back. He just asserted himself into the championship conversation 2 weeks into the year. So we'll see what he can do with it. But glad to see it happening for him, 100%. So Chase the Bulldog Elliott, y'all's number 2. Come on, you know he ain't going nowhere. Good showing so far this year, you know, right outside the top 10. Good little run there at Daytona. Led some laps at Atlanta. Pit crew let him down a little bit there. I ain't going, you know, that tends to happen. Not going to let it get too far under my skin 2 races in. But they got to tighten up a little bit, and I'm telling you, consistency is going to rear its head this year. You're going to see a lot of guys that run very consistent make this chase, right? And I think Chase Elliott is one of them. So he does need wins. I said that plural, not one. We do need wins. But I think he's definitely going to be there hunting for another championship for sure. And I'm probably going to catch a little heat for this, but I tell you what, man, Bubba Wallace, boy, I'm going to put Bubba on the hot list right here week 2. Man finds himself second in the points, right? Outside of Reddick, I think he led the most laps at Atlanta, led a ton of laps at Daytona, putting himself in position to win the races, right? Again, whether you're a fan or not, you got to respect at least this year where he's taking the car. You know, do I think there's probably guys you could put in it, might run it harder? Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's doing his job the first 2 races in this year. You know, I think the biggest thing with Bubba is the self-confidence and not getting down on himself. This is a week in and week out thing in a sport of very highs and very lows. I mean, we've all seen guys go to the pinnacle and fall off. We've seen guys struggle to even get there, right? So to even have your name in a conversation for the win, he's just got to stay positive. And again, we all know NASCAR's streaky. Eventually, he'll get a win for sure. So moving on to the who's not. Hurricane Hocevar, boy, I tell you what, I'm gonna tell you who's not, and it's not so much him. One, he drives like an idiot, like Ross Chastain did. All right, like a dumbass. We'll throw this in here. Right, he's young, I give him that. But I'm really on to all these fans out here that talking about like Carson Hocevar is the second coming of Dale Earnhardt Sr. First off, like the man ain't even won a race yet, right? Not even won a race yet. And you guys are doing this because of what? Attitude? Nah, dude. And let me tell you something. Dale Earnhardt Sr. went about it more like Kyle Busch than Carson Hocevar. And let me tell you something. You put 20 whatever Carson Hocevar is, a good 20-year-old Kyle Busch, Hocevar couldn't even wipe his butt, man. I'm telling you. So any of those guys out there that think it's entertaining, yeah, I guess. If you want to see a guy go out there and just wreck folks or stick it somewhere, you know, it doesn't belong like he did at Atlanta, which we'll talk about that. Drivers have to make those, young drivers especially, have to make those mistakes to learn, right? But it's also up to the competitors to teach them a lesson. So we'll see what comes up, man. But on the not list for sure, the fans, and I'm just not a Carson Hurricane Hocevar guy. Not taking away from his talent, just not my cup of tea, man. So also on that not list, y'all, I talked about it earlier, the all-star race format. I'm not going to go too much in detail, but good Lord, man, NASCAR got to get it together. Like I said, already dropping the ball in 2026, man. So getting ready to get into the Atlanta, Hotlanta / Echo Park Speedway race there, man. It was an awesome race. I'm going to tell you, I don't know what it looked like on TV. I hadn't rewatched it, but in person, that was a weekend of amazing, amazing racing. From the Truck Series race all the way down to Sunday's race in the Cup cars. That was a good performance and a product, on-track product that we put on. I really wish we would have had qualifying. I think that would have changed a little bit of the game early on in that race. Would have gave them a little bit of track time. Unfortunately, got rained out. But I tell you what, man, they did a great job, not only getting that track prepped back in, and all the hard, let's take our hats off to all the hard work that NASCAR and the ownership there at Echo Park Speedway did to design this track to be state of the art, man. Because I will tell you this, for a 1.5 mile super speedway, it did not take long at all for these guys to drive this track when it stopped raining. I mean, they got after it, and that self-weeping racetrack really helped out big time. I tell you that, and I think it's amazing. I think the product that Atlanta puts on, it's one of a kind. Nowhere else in the world and on our schedule is like it. I think we've only tapped into what we can do with Atlanta for sure, so we just got to keep it open. But awesome race there. Again, Tyler Reddick came home victorious, 2 for 2. Man, I tell you what, he might go to 3 for 3. Man, I tell you what, if Tyler Reddick goes 2 for 2, they ought to start bringing back like a 2 for $2 meal at McDonald's, 3 for 3, and MJ better get on it. You better start hustling them promos, man. But a good win for him for sure. Shout out to SVG, man. I tell you what, highest finish on an oval yet, 6th place. And raced up there too, and raced really clean, did his thing. I think he's starting to get the hang of it for sure. And I can tell you what, if that guy really does start winning, let's say even if he runs good at 4 ovals a year on top of what he does at road courses, he's going to be very dangerous. Already is, so going to be dangerous for sure if he gets these ovals dialed in. So I had a few tangle-ups there, man. Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry getting into it. Kyle Busch had his own little incident. Christopher Bell got spun by Hurricane Hocevar. Larson, man, they did a Hamlin. They was just wrecking equipment in Atlanta. But part of it, man, it's very aggressive. And, for people that go to Daytona and Talladega that's never been to the new Atlanta, imagine somewhat of the same style racing. It's more of like a shorter super speedway style. The moves come faster, the runs are bigger, and you got to make it happen a lot faster. And I think the more we go in, which we'll talk about more, the weather and different things at that track, the better it's going to be for sure. So all in all, kick-ass race, and like I said, NASCAR's well on its way to seeing probably one of the more amazing things they've done at a racetrack in a while become absolutely more amazing. Again, one of a kind. I think more weather, hot and cold. We're going to wear that track. It's really going to start chewing tires again. I hope they don't repave it. I hope that it gets enough wear that we can go and run a super speedway race there and turn around and run that 1.5 mile package. It's something I firmly believe that Atlanta is the only place you can go do that at. And I hope they don't slip on that opportunity. If we're going to sit here and do what we do and race at the Coliseum and race at Bowman Gray and race all these things, I think that Atlanta should have at least a shot to put on a 1.5 mile race there to see what it can do. That's just me. But all in all, they do that to the moon. Atlanta, man, the sky's the limit. So we're getting ready to get into some keys to victory this week coming up at COTA, man. I tell you what, the road course races are really hard, especially this one, right? This is a very, very different road course, a true road course, and very different compared to a lot of the other places that we race, even road courses for sure. So track position is everything. As we all know, you lose track position, you lose the race. That's just what it is. Fuel, I think, is going to come into play this weekend. This might be the first time this year we really see it come into play. Again, the strategy, when to pit, when not to pit. Are you second place and not going to beat the guy in first unless you do something different? How does that do? It's going to come into play. And again, you cannot mess up, man. You can't come into pit road and hang a tire and cost yourself seconds on the racetrack. Again, it's a big racetrack. It's a very long race, but man, is it hard to gain time, especially when we all know, which we're getting ready to talk about, who we think is going to be out front. So getting into that preview for COTA, like I said, one of my least favorite racetracks on the schedule, y'all. Look, I'll watch Watkins Glen and Sonoma, all right? And I'm going to watch Coronado this year just because. But outside of that, I could really care less. I watch all of them, but I could really care less. And this is one of my least favorite, top 3 least favorite. I'm glad the Roval's gone. This has got to be the next one on the schedule to be changed. I don't see why we should be doing this racetrack and taking away a second race at Dover, or taking away a second race at New Hampshire, or wherever, adding another racetrack in. This is just eating a spot on the schedule that I think has no place to be on the schedule to begin with. But with that being said, man, if you guys are interested, find out what goes on, tune in Sunday, but better yet, come up here to Coach's Corner, man. Savannah's home for NASCAR, telling you. So top 5 picks for the weekend, man. All right. Obviously, after last year, dude, we're going 97 number 1. We're going SVG. Are you kidding me? You can't bet against this guy on a road course. So we'll take him number 1. Yeah, he didn't finish very well this race last year. But again, I think that obviously things are going to change. It's about time for him to really go show what you can do. And I think on this frame racetrack and size and how difficult it is to pass in certain places, this guy's he's going to wax the field. But we'll see. 2 for me. I just talked about him, boy. Tyler the Hamburglar Reddick. It could be 3 for 3. Know the man's good on road courses. I'm telling you, why not? Why not? When he qualifies good, gets that track position, it could easily be 3 in a row to start the year for the 45 team over there at Joe Gibbs Racing. So I'll take him second. 3, come on, Chase the Bulldog Elliott, what I like to call the new king of the road course, man, outside of SVG, you know what I mean? We'll see. He needs to win one this year. He needs to win a road course to kind of, put his name back in that hat for sure. He's been slacking, but I feel like this might be a place maybe we can go get it done. 4, another road course guy, but an awesome guy, the hottest wife in NASCAR. We're going AJ Allmendinger, all right? You can't go to a road course and not take the 16 car. The guy is going to run good. And I tell you what, I'm going to catch everybody off guard right here with this one. I'm getting ready to throw it down. 5. You ready for it, Lawrence? People are going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to take Alex Bowman. I'm going to take Alex Bowman 5th. All right? And here's just a little piece of betting knowledge out there. Alex Bowman, in the 5 races that we've had at COTA, has finished top 10 all 5 times. Hey, you never know, right? Somebody's do. I'm going out on a whim 5, right? Could have taken a lot of other guys, but you see. Dark horses. I'm going to go 17 Chris Buescher. We know he's good. I mean, we can go McDowell. We can go all these guys. But I'll go 17 Buescher. I'll go 88 of Connor Zilisch. I think now, if being a rookie and getting in the Cup car and doing what you're doing, if you're going to go somewhere, this is his style. Obviously, we saw him battle with SVG all year last year on those road course races there in Xfinity Series. I think the kid's got talent. Obviously, he's got a teammate that's going to relay info. And if he can follow him a little bit, and learn from him like he did last year in this Cup car, I really think that the kid can have a good run. So we'll take him. And last but not least, the prophet himself, Ty Gibbs, man. I'll take Ty Gibbs up there. I'm not saying for the win, but I bet $5 Ty Gibbs finished top 12. Ty Gibbs is going to run top 12. So that'll do it for the COTA preview there, y'all. We are getting ready to get into this money line presented by Redfin Polarized, the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Doesn't matter if you got a wall hanger or money on the line. Make sure you see it clearly, again, with the best polarized sunglasses. Carl Zeiss lenses, Italian frames. These things are legit, made for the woods, made for the water. Man, I don't even know where my pair is at, but I'm getting ready to get another pair either way. Go check their website out, man. Cool swag as well, hats, shirts going off. I mean, I'm telling you, really cool stuff. Throw it in the cart, man. And when you do, use rubbing and grubbing, man. Save you 15% at checkout. So anyways, Redfin Polarized, as always, live life fins up, Redfin, baby. So money line, it ain't going to differ too much from what I just talked about, y'all. SVG is the betting favorite, right? So you might as well jump on that train, lock that in. Another piece of advice, I'll stay away from Denny Hamlin 100% this week. I don't know if you can get him a top 10, maybe, depending on what those odds are, but he's never had a top 10 finish at COTA. Again, in the 5 races we've been there, or 6 or however many, right? So it's something that you got to keep an eye on. Again, I think Zilisch, depending on the odds, Vegas is going to do it 2 ways. With the horrible finishes he's had this year, either going to slack those odds down, or, knowing the history the kid has on a road course, they're going to bump him up, right? If they bump him, I'd stay away again. It's kind of a trap, but Oh, that's up to you guys. I'm sticking with what I know in the Cup Series, the guys that run good on road courses week in and week out. Again, I pretty much just talked about them. Me and Lawrence going to check some odds out, but make sure you guys are following that social media. Lawrence will post those up for every race they have there on the weekend, if we're betting on them, who we're taking. And would love to see what you guys got, man. If we're missing somebody or what you think of certain picks we take. But, we'll see. Just make sure you're following that social, y'all. Hey, we did hit Sheldon Creed, right? I mean, hey, man, not too shabby on the year so far. We've been slacking on our statistical data a little bit this year. We've had a little rough go of it up here getting started this year, but we're gonna get it in the swing of things here in the next couple of weeks for sure. But yeah, man, hit the Sheldon Creed bet. Oh, yep, Lawrence almost, man. Before we move on to the hard right turn, we got to give a big shout out to little Timmy Hill, man. I tell you what, dude has been a day one follower of Rubbin' and Grubbin', and awesome human being, awesome guy. Loved him racing cars, man. Just awesome guy. So hopefully he's having a great birthday out there, living it up, and having a good time, because that's what it's all about. But happy birthday, little Timmy Hill, man. So getting ready to get into that hard right turn, y'all. But before we do, come on, we got to shout out my dude, 2301 Skidaway Road, Lamar's Body Shop, the best automotive service in Savannah, taking care of all your auto collision needs. Doesn't matter what it is, man. If you need an estimate, paint job, parts replace, man, you want to restore and do some aftermarket work, make sure you're going seeing Lamar and his team up there. Again, 2301 Skidaway Road. Again, 2301 Skidaway Road. Hop, skip, and jump away from Coach's Corner. All you got to do is slide in there, throw the name around. Hey, I heard you on Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Ain't no telling what Lamar will do for you, man. But I love you, brother. And as I always say, hey, don't settle for par. Go see Lamar, man. So getting in the hard right turn, and this is what we were just sitting there talking about, man. Fans that we always compare to people in the past, right? And what is the one thing that reminds of somebody, right? But I think racing is like one of the hardest sports to do that. Like you can't really, compare somebody before to somebody after. Like Dale Earnhardt Sr. to Hocevar, or even to Kyle Busch, or Kyle Larson's like Jeff Gordon, or you can't, man. The sport changes so much, just like baseball, just like football. We can talk all day long, but I don't even know how many of the fans out there actually even saw Dale Sr. race, let alone actually go out and do some of the things in his pinnacle of the sport. I didn't even start seeing his career till the early 90s. So, you know what I mean? What I see, 2 championships, right? 2, 3, whatever I saw, 2, however many. You know what I mean? I know I've seen him win 2 races before it was over. I know I've seen him wreck people, but he'd never blatantly put it somewhere it didn't belong. And we saw that Sunday. I'm not going to give Hocevar too much of a time, but you go back and look at the video. That's just what they do. They make that little foot move, and I know it's late in the race, time to make the move, but they make that little foot move up top to give everybody a little bit of room to get set. Now, Hocevar being a little bit more aged and a few years down the road, maybe he realizes all I got to do is push and get the run and then make the move myself. But unfortunately, that isn't what he wanted to do. And, he'll learn. I mean, Chastain took a little while for him to learn. He's still learning, I feel like, sometimes, but gotten a lot better. It's going to be the same. But the comparison of drivers, especially anybody to Dale Earnhardt Sr., you can't. The attitude, the quotes, the upbringing, the talent, you can't. You can't compare it. It's just a totally different world, right? Again, that doesn't just go with Dale Sr. That goes with so many other guys. You'll never hear me go, man, I like Chase Elliott because it reminds me of, Jeff Gordon, or reminds me of Darrell Walter, or reminds me of this, or reminds me of that. You might see similarities in somewhat characteristics, but come on, man, you're talking apples to oranges when you're talking Carson Hocevar to a 7-time 83 win guy. Or 82 or whatever, 81, whatever it is, right? 80 whatever. You're talking a guy that hadn't even won a race yet. Hadn't even, been out. Led some laps at Daytona, but everybody can do that. Hell, I've seen freaking BJ McLeod do that, right? Come on. So, at the end of the day, I hate it for fans that jump on that wagon. It's just not my forte. If that's your driver, that's awesome, right? I'm just not going to have the conversation with you about the second coming of Dale Sr. or whatever it is, When the man's got 55 races, when he can even, let's see, when he can even touch Dale Jr., all right, when he can even do something like that, which we all know he wasn't even his daddy, and you're going to talk about Carson Hocevar? Come on, y'all, man. You better do your damn history. All right, that'll do it for the rubbing, man. We are on to the grubbing, and look here. We didn't have no brisket. We ain't got no T-bones up here, but I know we're going to Texas, and I should have went with maybe some Texas fair food, but we don't do much of that. Brought some Oreos and some Twinkies and Snickers and fried them, but we did go with that cheesesteak, man. I tell you what, peppers, onions, I saved this. I got some really good hot sauce I throw on this bad boy when I get home. I throw it down, man. It is one of my favorite sandwiches up here at Coach's. So if you guys have not been up here yet and had the Philly cheesesteak, make sure you're checking that out. They also do a chicken version of this, which is great. Tell you what, man, food's amazing, staff's amazing, drinks are amazing, the entertainment is amazing. And make sure you're staying tuned tonight here, 7 o'clock. We got Coach Carl DeMasi with the DeMasi Sports Report, Savannah Sports Report. Coach does an amazing job, man. If you guys know Coach D, keeps you up to date on everything. Awesome coach, knows his stuff, man, and has some of the best and most renowned local athletes on the show, right? And that's what I think it comes down to, is promoting the local area you live in. Not only football, baseball, basketball, but swimming and wrestling and golf and bass fishing and all these archery and all these different things we have now. That's what it's all about. And Coach D does a absolutely fantastic job running it down. So make sure you're staying tuned. Follow that social as well. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go check it out and subscribe. Coach loves it, man, for sure. So that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. As I always say, stay safe, love each other, help somebody out this week, man. Do something nice for somebody. Hold a door. Do whatever it is that you got to do just to give yourself a feel good and give a little piece back to the community, man. That's what it's all about. So thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. As always, hey, stay safe. Till next time, wash your hands, y'all.